Hi there, Jean Greer here at Stylish Fireplaces. Today I want to introduce you to the Dimplex PF series of inserts. The PF series is a premium line from Dimplex. It is available in a 25-inch width, which I have at the top here, and a 33-inch width, which is my bottom one. Either of those sizes can be done with crystals or with a traditional log. They are not interchangeable, so you order the unit you want right from the beginning. These are not units where I can change out the log and put in crystals, nor can I take the crystal unit and add the traditional log. So you order it the way you want it, but either of the sizes comes with either of the configurations. You need about a 10-inch depth to put this into a cabinet or into a wall if you're going to build a feature for it. It is a 120-volt unit. So it will heat up to about a 400 or 500 square foot area. When the heater is on, the blower is on, so that is typical for electric fireplaces. And of course, you don't have to have the heat on to have the flames on. So it's very versatile. And again, that is par for the course for an electric fireplace. As with all Dimplex fireplaces, the flame is very natural looking, and it is not a flame that I can change color. So I can add color underneath the flame, but the flame itself will always look natural, and that is a true Dimplex feature. They have perfected these flames over years of research and development, and we don't change the color on those flames. So there's a lot of things we can do around the flame, but the flame is not one of the things we can change. There is a nice remote with a lot of features on it for this series. So I can change the temperature setting. So it does have a thermostat, so I can keep this at a setting for, let's say, 70 degrees, and it will cycle the heater on and on as required to keep us at 70 degrees. When I'm changing features on the remote, there's a display, an LED display inside that's going to light up temporarily just so I can see what is being changed and if it's reacting to the changes that I'm trying to make. And then those lights will go off so they don't stay on. And there are some colors that we can change underneath the flames, both with the log and with the crystals. Obviously with the crystals it's going to be more visible. With the logs it's much more discreet, but the colors are there. Our favorite is to put it on red to make it a little more intense, or blue if I'm trying to imitate a gas fire, especially on the more traditional log version here. So those colors do change, but again, it's very subtle with the logs because the colored lights are underneath those logs, so not easy to see. The other thing you'll notice about this unit is it does have the reflective backdrop that Dimplex is quite well known for, and that makes the flame appear as if it's in the center of the burner plate along the bottom. And that is a true Dimplex innovation that really gives you a more realistic feeling and a sense that the fire is a little deeper than it really is. But a 10-inch footprint is quite nice for an insert because of obviously with gas inserts that depth would be much, much higher in most situations. So these are inserts that you'll see very often in the Dimplex media cabinets. So the 25-inch would be in some of the smaller media cabinets. The 33-inch would fit in some of the larger cabinets. Now there are other models that have come along in the 25-inch in particular that also appear in the media cabinets, but you may see these in some of the Dimplex furniture pieces. But they're perfectly suited to creating a custom unit or doing your own custom installation at home. These units have a little bit shorter height than a traditional firebox. So traditional firebox is typically quite square. These are a little lower profile. So the 33-inch is only 23 inches tall. The 25-inch is just under 19 inches tall. So that's one of the things that distinguishes these from most other inserts. They are not as square. It's a little more of a contemporary look, but still an insert, still a more traditional shape. So it's a sleeker version of a traditional shape, if you want to think of it that way. They do have, as I said, the remote. I can change, this has the nice heat function with the heat blast. So if I want to bring the room up to temperature quicker than normal, the heat blast feature on Dimplex fireboxes and some of their linear units allows me to set a timer, so a very specific pre-timed setting to put the heat and the blower at the highest setting. So get this room up to a certain temperature in a hurry, and then it will revert back to whatever setting I put on the thermostat. So that's a really nice function, very robust heating element there. And then it has a timer feature, which more and more of the fireplaces are having, so that if there's somebody who forgets to turn things off, you preset the timer and say, turn this off in so many hours, and it will just turn itself off. Now the heater will turn itself on and off regardless, based on the thermostat. But if you want the whole fireplace to shut itself off after a certain time because somebody's going to fall asleep on the couch in front of it, or the kids are going to forget to turn it off, or whatever, you can use a timer for that. The other fun little thing that these have on them, which we always surprise people with when they're standing in the showroom, and it's not on any of the other fireplaces that I'm aware of with Dimplex, but this series has a wave feature. So I can turn it off by waving my hand down and then waving it back up. So that's a fun little party trick you can use at home, and just do it without the remote and surprise people by being able to do it with your hand. But if you have little kids, you may want to forego that feature, because I think they'll find it way too much fun to play with. So do be careful about that. The glass on these, speaking of kids, the glass is not going to get hot here. So typical of an electric fireplace, even if the heater is on, this glass is not going to get hot, so it's perfectly safe. Where you get hot on most electrics is where the heat comes out, but this has a very recessed grill. There's not a lot of area here that can really get hot even when the heater is on. Usually these metal plates will get warm, and they may get warm enough that somebody says, oh, okay, that's getting warm, I'm going to move my fingers. So quite different from a gas fireplace, where by the time you realize it's hot, it's probably burned your skin. So they're quite safe, but that little wave feature may be your biggest headache if you've got little ones running around the house. So just watch out for that. But it is a fun thing for surprising people at parties. So this is the PF series of Dimplex inserts. P for Peter, F for Frank, PF series. And it comes in a 25-inch width and a 33-inch width. You can find it on stylishfireplaces.ca on our Dimplex page, or you can shop by style at Inserts and Fireboxes.